Hello, friends. Now, hold on a second before we start getting carried away. What are you thinking? This guy's fucking doing another stream of Resident Evil? How many damn streams can he possibly do? Well, I am doing a stream of Resident Evil, but I'm not going to be playing the whole game. I'm just using this as a lazy technique to just make a video while I just tell you about my thoughts on the game altogether. So this is probably only going to be like 15, 20 minutes. I just want to bring the audio down so you can hear my fat mouth instead. I don't know. System volume, that just affects everything, right? Okay, well, whatever. So let me just do that, and then we'll kick this up here. So this is just kind of, this isn't really scripted. I made an outline for what I want to discuss. I want to discuss this. So this is episode 2 of podcast, I guess you could say. Podcast, vlog, whatever the hell. Of just my thoughts on Resident Evil 7. This is, I like to call it WTFDIK. What the fuck do I know? And the first one I did was for Final Fantasy 15. I covered some stuff in there. Yeah, I just really feel that I need to put the volume down a bit more. A little distracting, but that's fine. I'll just kind of cut into it. So anyways, this is episode 2 of WTFDIK. What the fuck do I know? And we're just gonna kind of go over: is Resident Evil 7 a true RE game? The question is what really makes a Resident Evil game a Resident Evil game? And I compiled a small list here of things, and we're also going to be asking and discussing other questions and so on and so forth too. So is it a true RE game? Well, let's look at this. The setting is in a residence that apparently has evil in it. I mean, evil is obviously a word that is very suggestive, and so it truly, what's going on in there, it does truly feel like some evil shit. What's happening is that Evelyn, the BOW, has taken over the Baker family and is making them do horrible things that many people may see as evil, such as killing innocent folks and what have you. So if that isn't, so the Bakers doing all of this in their residence, and again, the Bakers are victims too, like that is brought up in the actual game. So the Bakers are doing all these horrible acts, but they themselves are victims, so that's some pretty evil shit. I think it's safe to say that they are in a residency where there's evil. So now that we got that out of the way, I guess you can go right ahead and say, yeah, well, I guess it is worthy of the title, right? Yeah, in a sense, but that's not the only thing that can make a Resident Evil game a Resident Evil game, right? There's also other elements to it. And many of them same elements from Resident Evil make a return in this game. Besides with the elephant in the room, that yes, this isn't a fixed camera angle, or pre-rendered backdrops or tank controls. No, it's all right. So elephant in the room. This is obviously a different perspective. You're in the first-person perspective here, but really, sorry, excuse me, but really, that's really the only thing that changes is the point of view. So okay, so we got that pretty much covered, but there's other Resident Evil things going on in here that make it a Resident Evil game. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at my notes and I'm just sort of winging this. Like I said, it's outlined. I didn't script this or anything like that, so you'll hear me kind of fumbling over my words and what have you. So, other things that are present in the game that make this a Resident Evil game are heavy emphasis on exploring and searching. I mean, there's plenty of that going around, right? You got to find key items, fucking use this here, use that there, try and save up on this, put this away, item box, blah, blah, blah. All that shit is there, right? Exploring is there, interesting pictures on the wall. Hey, what's this over here? What's that do? Shit like that. The BOWs are present in here. They are obviously, BOW is a biological weapon, right? And I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. That BOWs have been in Resident Evil since the very first one, and this one is definitely no exception whatsoever. So there's that. Sorry, my battery level's low. I guess I should have checked that first, but whatever. Not like it really matters here. Okay, next. Okay, so we got BOWs. There's also puzzles. Now, I mean, the puzzles in this game are fairly easy, and there's not many of them, but they are present in the game. You do have to do a little bit of thinking. But, I mean, really, the puzzles in any Resident Evil game, it was always easy. You know, it really was never tough. Any of the puzzles. I never really found any of the puzzles to be tough at all in any Resident Evil game in the past 20 plus years that I've been playing. So there's that. The weapons are quite familiar, such as the pistol, the shotgun, the Magnum, and this one you have the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher pretty much takes place of what? Well, there was a grenade launcher in the very first Resident Evil. They just called it a bazooka. You know, then there's the rock. You know, other RE games had the rocket launcher. They more so just kept it as rocket launcher ever since that, I believe. But you know, yeah, there was grenade launchers before, so you got that in there. So the weapons are very familiar. I mean, pistol, shotgun, and Magnum right there, that screams Resident Evil. It really does. Oh, even a flamethrower, too. Again, flamethrowers made their way into Resident Evil games before. So, you know, it would have been awesome if Resident Evil 4 had a flamethrower. That would have been interesting. Anyways, back on topic here. So what makes a Resident Evil game Resident Evil game? Well, I mean, there's another thing that totally makes a Resident Evil game a Resident Evil game, besides those factors, is the violence. Every Resident Evil game that I've ever played has been violent as fuck. Ever since the very beginning, it has been violent as fuck. Blood all over the place, dead bodies all over the place, you know, just over-exaggerated gore. Here's a dead body right here. I think this is Andre from the derelict house. He's got like the same shirt on and pants, so yeah, that's got to be him. That's a 3-year-old corpse right there then, huh? You'd think that it'd be a bit more bloated and whatnot, so yeah, I'm not too sure that makes any sense. Anyways, so back on track here, sorry. So, it's just looking at my notes here. So just because the game is in first person doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't an RE installment. If we were to actually say that it isn't a true RE installment, then we would also have to say things like Resident Evil 4 isn't a true RE installment because they got rid of the point of view, for one, is different because now it's over the shoulder, and there's also no tank controls either. So really, you can say that 4, 5, and 6 are not Resident Evil games then. And yeah, I know a lot of people have gripes, especially with 5 and especially with 6. But 4 also needs to be put into that category because they were a reinvention of the series, which we're going to talk about series reinvention too. This is probably actually going to be a much longer video than I anticipated because I'm doing a lot of talking here and I'm really getting a lot of things off my chest. This is some true nerd talk going on. So, all right, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, you can then say that 4, 5, and 6 are not Resident Evil games either, and a lot of people are probably glad to say that 5 and 6 aren't Resident Evil games, but really 4 as well because that's where it started with the series focusing a bit more on the aspect of action instead of true survival horror. And even for myself, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I initially didn't like what I seen either. So when they unveiled the first trailer for it, what they showed was kind of like what felt like it might be fucking ghosts and no familiar faces, this song that I didn't really care for either. By the way, I love the song now. It's funny how things grow on you, I guess. But they're just showing all this stuff that just really didn't remind me of Resident Evil. And so, yeah, my initial thoughts just by that trailer alone were definitely not promising to me. I had a very negative outlook for the game. And I actually wasn't going to buy it until, you know, it was on sale for fucking, you know, maybe like, I don't know, $20 or something. But Katykins urged me to get it. I'm very glad that I did. And anyways, yeah, so let's go over the whole reinvention process now. This isn't really so much a reinvention of the series as it is more so a throwback. Really, again, the only true thing that is different here is your point of view, you know, the angle that which the camera is for, you know, the entire game. You know, you're playing as Ethan from his point of view. That's really the only fucking different thing we got going on here. So, as far as that goes, because the series, we already know how the series started with tank controls, pre-rendered shit. I'm not going to say all that stuff again, even though I kind of already did. But the series was truly reinvented when 4 came out, because not only was it a different camera angle, this over-the-shoulder camera angle, but it was also what the fuck am I trying to say here? But it was also heavily focused on action. Things were drastically different. There was weapon upgrades, and you know, you're fucking finding gold on the ground now and shit like that. You know, you're exploring, and you're also looting, and you know, yada yada yada, this and that. So that's pretty damn different. You know, you're talking to a merchant to buy stuff now. You know, just crap like that. So, that is a reinvention. This really isn't a reinvention. All they did was just go back to the original formula and give you a different camera angle. That's literally it. They did nothing else. It looks different. Obviously, it's on next gen, so you know that also makes it quite different. You know, better graphics, so on and so forth. Is she down here? Sorry, I didn't hear the door banging around. Okay, so I guess I have to pay attention a little bit to this game. So yeah, so there's that. Now let's get on into the story. So far, as far as I'm concerned, and I say so far because the whole reasoning of that is I don't have the full story because I haven't played all of the game. Apparently, there's DLC. There's still shit that's coming out with the Not a Hero stuff. It hasn't dropped since the making of this video. So, as far as the story goes, so far it's okay. I thought that the whole thing with Mia. Oh, by the way, spoilers. So I really wouldn't be fucking listening anymore if you know, you've never played the game and for some strange reason are watching this. But I thought that the whole amnesia thing with Mia was a fucking lazy cop-out. Amnesia, it's always used in so much shit, you know, just to expose the plot later, kind of keep the viewer, or in this case the player, in the dark. And it just doesn't really seem, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like amnesia being, well, I guess if she keeps banging her head on the fucking wall like that, then yeah, of course she has fucking amnesia. She keeps giving herself concussions. But in all seriousness, though, I think amnesia, lazy ass fucking cop out. And then you need DLC to fill in some of the gaps. I mean, what about the whole shit with Lucas? You know, that never really did get resolved. He's, you know, one of the bigger, you know, he's a pretty big shit talker, fucking around with you, this and that, has you going through the little fucking testing facility, then his little fucking, you know, party that he throws you, and this and that. I'm gonna kill this bitch. I just kind of like to circle around her. I find that to be the most effective, especially on Madhouse. Mia is the toughest on Madhouse. Toughest boss. Okay, so what were we saying? Sorry, like I said, I got my notes here. Again, the story. So what we're gonna need, so back to Lucas and shit. That shit was never really resolved, and he was a big shit talker, this and that, you know, like you want to see him get his, you know. So what the fuck ever happened with him? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait for DLC, unless it already came out. Again, I never played banned footage 1 or 2. I'm waiting to get those on sale because I'm fucking cheap, and I just, you know, I don't want to have to pay, you know, full price for something like that. So I'll just wait until either that or the season pass goes on sale for like, I don't know, $10 maybe, you know. So I'll be waiting a while for that, so I won't know much about the story. Or maybe the Not a Hero DLC resolves the Lucas shit. I don't know. But again, I'm not getting the whole damn story is the point. The story is also kind of very alien slash... it's like Alien and The Thing, you know. I say this because, like, say for Alien and this and that, it's them transporting this BOW somewhere where they want to use it as a weapon. Well, obviously BOW, the W stands for weapon. And that's kind of what they wanted to do with the alien from Alien. They wanted to use it, you know, for their own personal gain, to see if they can try and utilize it in some sense to, you know, to make it marketable. And, you know, war can definitely be a very, very lucrative industry. So, you know, taking that into consideration. And then I also say it's like The Thing as well, because it's a very, you know, like the infections and shit, you know, people getting infected and fucked with like that. So that's how I feel it's like The Thing. You know, and obviously they got to stop it. It's, you know, it's come loose there and trying to keep, you know, like, keep this thing, whatchamacallit, they're trying to keep it concealed, you know, they're trying, or contained, I'm sorry. So, again, like that. The game has, and then, of course, the game also has its little plot twist at the end. But really, with the story, I feel that it's highly overshadowed by how entertaining the Bakers are, especially Jack. I won't give away too much or anything like that, but they're definitely the ones that stole the show for me. And the story after that just kind of paled in comparison. It just kind of made Eevee boring to me. So yeah, there's that. Also, here's another one. Some plot holes or things that maybe not necessarily plot holes, but just things that are never explained. Or is that really what a plot hole is? You know, that's a question for another time. Is what the fuck is up with... Man, this video is going to go on for a long time. But how did Alan free Eevee? For one, I want to know that. Is that something that I missed? Or I don't think it is. But yeah, so how did it... Because... when they're on the ship, Alan clearly states that it's his fault that Eevee got free. So how exactly is it his fault? I'd like to know that. How did he fuck something up that big, you know? So really, like, Katie Kins was telling me that this is all Mia's fault, but actually it's all Alan's fault because, and he even admits it in the fucking game, too, that it's his fault, So fuck you, Alan. I have to pay attention here for a sec because I gotta fucking kill this bitch. And I'm just kind of half paying attention. So there's that whole thing with Alan. And also, some of you may remember the scene with Jack Baker. It's once Mia finds Ethan on the ship. And you kind of go into that little dream sequence. Damn, I didn't pick up shit. I wonder if that's even going to be enough. Because I wasn't... oh, shit, bitch! Get the fuck away from me! Dude, I should have just threw this on easy. I don't know why I didn't. She's going to be back here, I think. So, yeah. Hello? Dude, she's still over here. This bitch. Just want to fucking pop her and kill her ass.
They're relying on me. Everyone.
Dude, is this bitch gonna kill me?
Everyone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm dead. It's so funny. Look at that fucking face. I really hate that fucking face, to be quite honest with you. I just really don't feel like paying attention, but okay, whatever. Let's make this video even fucking longer, right? That's fine. I honestly thought that bitch would just be dead, like, after those shots, because she's so fucking hard on Madhouse, so fighting her in Let's just hurry up and fucking kill this dumb cunt. Fighting her in normal or anything else just really, really makes the fucking game seem so much easier. It really does. She also didn't trigger the way that I thought she was initially going to. I thought she was actually going to run around the fucking run around the room and fucking chainsaw the wall that was behind me instead of just fucking kind of getting stuck at the door right there. That usually doesn't happen. But yeah, now we got plenty of ammo, so we're just going to lay into this bitch really quick, and then we'll get back on. We're still talking about the story of the game, and some of the weird little plot holes and how it kind of sucks that DLC is going to be a factor to really even understand the fucking story. Alright, so she going to chainsaw this shit. Or understand the story, like, wholly. I guess there's also DLC where it says, yeah, learn about how it all started over at the baker's and, you know, this and that. It's like, oh, okay. Kind of wish that I could have learned about that before. You know, like in the actual fucking core game. That would have been nice. See, usually when you come in here like this, it'll trigger her to go back. So let's see if she does this time. Yeah, see, now she's behind me. Because she's going to take out this wall. And this is what I was expecting the first time. Okay, she's done. It's so much easier on normal. Really, really stupid, though. Okay, so anyways, back onto the points I was making. Sorry about that. We got a little sidetracked. So, yeah, that's the whole thing there. And also, how come Ethan doesn't do any more sensible acts in the game, such as fucking just immediately leave, say, when he finds Mia's purse on the ground with her fucking ID in there and everything? That would definitely merit, okay, I need to fucking turn around, I need to get the cops involved, something like that. Or why didn't the writing at least be a bit smarter then? So that was pretty lazy on Capcom's part. For that. Also, Ethan never, not once, in the year fucking 2017, which this is when it takes place, at least when you know, take control of Ethan, why in the holy fuck doesn't this guy have a smartphone? I know that's one of the bigger burning questions. And then later on, he gets a fucking smartwatch that clearly can make phone calls. So why not use these things? And don't give me that shit that, you know, like, oh, no signal or, you know, anything like that, because you know, fucking Redfield clearly is able to call him at the very end. So there's that, you know. I don't know. I just thought that was silly. But obviously this watch right here, as a matter of fact, can make fucking phone calls. So even if Ethan didn't have his phone on him, there's one right there. What the fuck, game? So I don't know why he didn't use a codex. I don't know why he just didn't fucking, you know, run away from the Baker household, or, you know, once he's found me and shit. Why is Ethan so fucking stupid? I guess is what I want to know. So again, that's kind of a bad thing for the story, I feel, but, you know, still all right, whatever. I'm game. I'll still play, right? Here's another one. The sewer gators, the three guys from the derelict footage, the derelict house footage. You know, with Clancy, Peter, and Andre. What the fuck is going on there? That's what I want to know. What the fuck is going on there? Now, we all know that they're all fucking dead. Okay, well, Clancy, I guess, you know, lived a little longer, whatever, but yeah, you know, Lucas took care of his ass. But what the fuck, man? Their van is still out there. Now, these guys, when you're taking control of Ethan, it's 3 years later, okay, since these people have been missing. So why is their van still out there? Somebody would have fucking come across it, like, yeah, sure, it's on the Baker premises, but it's like right off to the fucking side of the main gate. It's not far at all in there. So how the fuck did nobody ever find that? Especially when they're saying that the cops have been snooping about and calling them and, you know, this and that, you know, I guess asking about, you know, any people they noticed, missing people, anything like that. But no one has ever fucking found that. I mean, that's highly suspect. Why would somebody leave their fucking van there, right? So that makes absolutely no fucking sense. I mean, it's really, really dumb. You know, if the events unfolded, say, a couple weeks before anything, then fine. But there's actually evidence in the game that says that they've been missing for a while. And as a matter of fact, I think I can come across it here and read it to you. So, I mean, all in all, it's really not the best story. But it's interesting enough, you know, when they explain stuff about Evie and, you know, this and that, and, you know, with Evie and, you know, Mia and the little plot twists that they got going on there. Not the greatest, but, you know, it's definitely passable, that's for damn sure. Let's see. I think it might be this. 3 missing during Urbex's trip. State authorities looking for Peter Andre